Hello YouTube, Dave here again. Just wanted to do an update video. I think it's been a while since the last time I've actually done one of these. I think the last update video was, I want to say it was at the beginning of the year, which we're into the 5th month of the year now, which is really crazy to think about. But give an update sort of as to what my plans are going forward, at least for the next little while. I guess just try to get, things out there so to set expectations. The first thing that I want to mention is I'm going to be running the Dragon Age role-playing game over on the Master the Game channel. So I'll try to remember to include a link to Master the Games channel in the description below. If you're not already subscribed, I do really highly recommend checking out the channel. GM Juice is an awesome guy, and he's got a lot of great games that he's running, or some really awesome, talented, fantastic game masters are running over on his channel. And then I'll be running a game as well. Not that I fit into that category, but he's willing to host a game that I run, so I really do appreciate that. And it's definitely good company, for company that I probably don't deserve to be in, but good company nonetheless. So check that out. We're going to be going through the Dalish Curse. I'm going to be modifying things a little bit. I'm hoping actually that the campaign is interesting enough that there's sort of an interest in going beyond just the first pre-written adventure, and maybe try to incorporate a couple of other scenarios after that, to really involve the player characters' backgrounds. But I am tweaking a few things. So if you've read the adventure and I run stuff in it that you haven't seen or that is not in there, I will try to modify a couple things, just based off of the player backgrounds, to make things a little bit more interesting for them, for that way. But I just wanted to let you guys know that the first session of the actual gameplay is going to take place the same day that this video goes live. So that should be May 4th, Tuesday, May 4th. So that it'll be at 8:30 p.m. on Master the Games channel. Again, link in the description. Check it out. Be sure to subscribe if you're not, because it is an awesome channel, and he definitely deserves more subscribers for the stuff that he does. He's just awesome stuff. So there's that. Session 1, same day as this video. The next thing, just some updates again on a couple of sort of what the focus is probably going to be for video-wise for me for the next little bit. Right now, I don't want to go into a lot of things, but just the mental fortitude, I guess, the mental drive or the mental energy to try to put videos out, it just isn't there as much as it once was. It's not that I don't enjoy it. It's not that I don't enjoy interacting with people on the channel. I still really do love it. I get a lot of satisfaction out of it. It's just, there's just things in terms of like the situation going on right now in our province. We're into another lockdown period. I'm still looking at probably another 2 to 3 weeks before I might be able to get my first dose of the vaccine. And we're probably looking at, another 3 or 4 months before we're fully vaccinated. So we're sort of in another lockdown. This third wave has been really rough for the province. Like, we're getting daily numbers that are more per day than what our total was back during the highest number of cases we had total during the first and second wave. So I get it, I understand it, I'm totally agree with taking the measures to try to keep everyone safe, but it still takes its toll mentally, and it still has an effect in terms of what I can just mentally have the ability to do right now, I guess. So probably going to be looking at one video per week for sure, and then maybe try to get a second one. Before, I was trying to commit to 2 videos, maybe 3, but I just don't know if I really have that in me right now. Again, that might change as time goes on and things start to improve, but for now, realistically, I'm looking at like 1, maybe 2 videos a week, but trying to build a bit of a schedule to make things a little bit easier for me. So one of the first things is my Age of Worms Adventure Path series. So that will be continuing. I know there were gaps in the uploads for the Shackled City one. I think that was mainly because I was trying to do them too close to each other. I think I was trying to get like one every 2 weeks. or like once. I think even at one point I was aiming for once a week, and it was just a lot to try to take in. So I'll be doing one of those a month, and the next video for the Age of Worms Adventure Path should actually be out later this week. So I'm hoping to have that out probably like so this video is going up on Tuesday, so probably either Thursday or Friday. I'm hoping to have the second one up, and then in June I'll have chapter 3 and so on and so forth. So looking forward to that. Also, when it comes to Dungeon Magazine, like one of the things that I've found has been sort of easier for me to do is just look at smaller, products to do like reviews on. And I've got a ton of Dungeon magazines with a lot of really great adventures in them. So one of the things that I've considered actually is going back and actually like doing reviews for some of the adventures that I really enjoyed or really found interesting, or even some that I skipped over back in the day, and just sort of like do reviews on those. And like, I mean, Dungeon Magazine was a fantastic resource. I loved it. So I am definitely interested in doing like reviews on those. And again, those are shorter adventures. Like they tend to be around like maybe 30 pages. So it's easier to digest, again, easier to do videos on. So probably in the next couple of weeks, I will start a series looking at just some random Dungeon Magazine adventures and going from there. So I just wanted to sort of, again, give you an idea of how that's going to go. Also looking at my Fantastic Locations video. So again, probably try to do one of those every couple of weeks, every 2 to 3 weeks. So last week I did the Fane of the Drow, and got a lot of good feedback on that. I really enjoyed doing that video. And I think this was a really understated product that I think a lot of people passed on just because it was like the D&D Minis tie-in thing, and there's just so much stuff coming out for 3.5, especially like in 2005, 2006, which is when these were sort of releasing. So, I think a lot of people missed these over. I mean, they're like 14-page adventures, so they're not going to they're not going to be like the greatest thing ever. They're not going to be adventures that are comparable to something like, Keep on the Borderlands or, the original Ravenloft or stuff like that. But they are solid. And if Fane of the Drow is any indication, they're actually really decent for giving you some plot hooks that you can use to expand or develop in your own campaigns, or things that you can use to sort of expand these adventures out if you want to turn them from like a 14-page scenario to something a little bit longer, like a more traditional module. Then like I said, I think these are going to be a lot of fun to go through. And most of these I haven't read since they first came out. Like I haven't actually read through this adventure since it came out in November of 2005. And it is like May of 2021, so we're like 15 and a half years later. So it like these are all new to me basically at this point. And to that effect as well, going back and looking at some of my 3.5 books, or third edition books, like I did the Sonic's Handbook a week or two ago. So I'll probably try to get into more of those as well, but I don't know when or how frequent those are going to be. The next video that I actually want to take a look at is going to be Libris Mortis, Book of the Undead, and try to remember if it really was as bad as I remember it. And going from there, I also kind of want to do the flip side of that coin as well, and look at books that I remember being really good or that I loved, and just trying to see if they hold up, if they're really as good as I remember them. So, I don't want to dwell on negativity too much, so I want to make sure that I cover both ends of that spectrum. So that's something I'm going to be probably looking at as well. I think that the next book in that is probably going to be the first book that I do for that is probably going to be either the Draconomicon or Lords of Madness. So we'll sort of see, we'll see from there. But those things I'm interested in looking back on. And yeah, so again, some of these older, like third edition era stuff, I might start focusing a little bit more on, just to, like I said, just make things a little bit easier on myself. Because they're books that I at least have some sort of past familiarity on, or they're short little modules like this to make my life a little bit easier. Up next, also looking at some Pathfinder stuff. So once every couple of weeks, I also want to make sure that I'm dedicating some videos to the Pathfinder and or Starfinder role-playing game. So one of the books that I tried to do a video on a couple of times and it just never turned out the way I was hoping it would was the Ancestry Guide. So I think what I'm going to do is next week, I'm just going to record a video doing a flip through, showing you guys what's in here. Because at the end of the day, I mean, this is a book that I really like, and I think it's a great purchase. I think it's a great book, and it's one that I do really highly recommend, especially for players, just because it's just more like options built around your ancestry or your heritages, and they've got some really good ones in here. So I'll do like the flip through and give my thoughts on that. But spoiler alert, I think it's a really good book. It's just the last couple of times I tried to record reviews, it just didn't turn out very well. And I had released a video once before that I had recorded and then didn't think was like it didn't come out the way that I was hoping it would, but I uploaded it anyway, and like the next day I took it back down because it just wasn't what I was like looking for or hoping for, and I would rather not release a video than release a video that I'm not happy with, sort of thing, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'll try to have that video out next week. Hopefully the flip through goes a little bit better than the other two videos ended up doing. Also with Pathfinder, so once I get the Ancestry Guide out of the way, I'm going to go back to the adventure paths. So we just wrapped up the second chapter of the Age of Ashes path, which I did a review for the first installment for a while back, actually. It was probably, I want to say it's almost a year ago now, which is crazy to think of, but it was a while ago. And then, you know, the pandemic hit, or like things sort of went into a bit more of a lockdown. There were some other things going on, you know, with our like just personal lives that made getting into like videos and stuff a little bit more difficult. And then a friend of mine offered to run the second chapter, so I didn't want to read it while he was running it because I didn't want to spoil anything. So we finally wrapped that up, so I can read that in its entirety and be able to do the review video for that. So a couple weeks after this video goes out, I will be going back to the Age of Ashes adventure path and then moving on to the next adventure path, stuff like that, as they come. So looking forward to that as well. All right, so the last thing is I want to do a review video for Star Trek Adventures, but I would love to be able to have actually run a few games of it before I get into that, because like I know sort of how I feel about the mechanics in principle or in theory, but I'd love to see it sort of played out. So the thing with this is I'm going to need some help with this. So what I'm basically looking for would be a group of 3 to 4 players, people who are interested in the Star Trek Adventures system, and basically, like, unless someone else with a YouTube channel is interested in hosting the videos, and all the players are okay with being on camera, I don't plan on like live streaming it. I just basically, you know, be like a private game essentially, because I just don't have the equipment necessary to really do streaming on myself. Like to have my laptop just wouldn't handle having the live stream and the video chat thing going up at the same time. It just wouldn't. It's a great laptop for like the limited things that I do with it, but it's just not up to the task of doing that, I'm afraid. But like I said, I'm looking for 3 to 4 players, maybe up to 5 players. And yeah, just to go through essentially I'm going to plan on running the starter set adventures and sort of going through those, but it's a situation where basically I need players. It'd probably be a weekday evening, if I could be completely and totally honest. Weekends are usually taken up with other stuff, and like that's when I run other games, and the groups that I run those other games for, they're already kind of at the maximum of what they can actually commit to as players. So like weekends, like I said, are usually taken up, and I am taken up on a couple of weekdays as well. So Tuesdays and every other Tuesday and every other Friday are sort of off the table. But the weeks that I'm not doing those, like I said, so kind of what I need is some players and consensus on a weekday evening that could work for all of them. And it would probably be like a situation where it'd be like once every couple of weeks, or even maybe once a month, until we go through the starter set and then sort of go from there. So if you're interested, let me know, and we'll see what we can work out. So anyway, like I said, I just wanted to give sort of an update. Like I said, to let people know what's sort of going on, what the expected output for videos is going to be for the next little while, and what I'm kind of trying to focus on for the next little while as well. Now this is May, so I know that the new D&D 5th edition book is coming out, the Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft, and as far as I know, I will be receiving a review copy of that. So I will be obviously like doing videos on that when it comes out. So I'm looking forward to that. But beyond that, just like I said, sort of focusing on sort of some smaller scale stuff that is just a little bit easier to digest, and that's just more in line with what I can currently do, just with like the mental energy that I have based on everything that's just sort of going on in and around me. So anyway, thank you guys very much for your understanding, for your patience, and for your support. It really does mean a lot to me, and like I say, I don't feel like I deserve it. I really don't, but it does mean a lot to me. So like I said, I just want to sort of keep everyone in the loop. Anyway, thank you again, like I said, very much. It means the world, and I will see you all next time, and hopefully I'll see some of you later tonight when I'm over on Master the Game channel on YouTube, running the Dragon Age RPG. So hopefully I'll see some of you there, and for everyone else, again, thank you very much. It means a lot, your continued support, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.